any man that has a platform, be very, very careful you don't abuse the platform. You don't have to put your hand in fire to know that fire burns. Like, it's not necessary.
Right.
So if I have the opportunity to show my scars to brothers and sisters in the faith, again, I never ever claim to be the individual who has it all together and oh my gosh, she's so perfect and follow Jesus.
Right.
But I like to have these kind of conversations with individuals, and what we were about to kind of unpack was just the whole essence of the abusal of power given to individuals who have a platform. And sometimes they do it intentionally and some people do it unintentionally.
Right.
I'm really going to quote Spider-Man. But with great power comes great responsibility. So corny. I can't believe I did that. But it's true. It's true. It's true, because when you're in a position where people respect you or look up to you or just have an appreciation for what you do, there is a responsibility upon your head to ensure that, especially if you claim to be a Christian artist or gospel minister or Christian, whatever you want to call yourself, the Bible talks about an individual in such a position being judged more harshly.
Yeah.
And whether or not people want to admit that or acknowledge that or accept that, that's you and your own.
See how my voice broke when you said that.
But it's true. It's true, and it's the scary truth,
tough,
but it's the reality of the truth that we need to acknowledge. And I always say this, like, in this life, be humble or be humbled.
Right.
Like, it is what it is. And I had to really find that out the hard way in terms of, yo, are you going to sort out yourself and develop a level of self-control that is necessary, not just for a minister, but for a child of God? Or are you going to allow the desires of the flesh to continue to consume you to the point where you then are now making carnal decisions which then remove the podium that you're standing on?
Bro.
And then that is where you be humble or you be humbled. Because I'm telling you, when the Lord humbles you,
it's serious. He don't muck about.
He doesn't play around. He doesn't play around. And so when it did get to the point where the Lord had to humble me, I remember there was a period I had to kind of, like, through everything I was going through and whatnot, I had to speak to ministers and pastors and blah, 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 blah. I had to take a year off music ministry and just be like, yo, sort yourself out, big man.
Yeah.
Sort yourself out, because this is dangerous.
I think it's just a testament of how big of a deal this topic is, and what people that are seen, like artists or musicians, because you need to be so in tune with God. You need to be serious with God. You need people around you that are praying for you. Excuse me, praying for you, that are surrounding you, interceding for you, bro. I've just gone through a intercession course with some people in my church and really digging deep into what intercession is, bro. But like, interceding, standing in the gap for these people. You need people. You need to surround yourself with these people, because if you don't, there's going to be so many attacks from the enemy. You're only human, bro. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
You're only human. There's going to be so many attacks. There's going to be so many things that are going to come your way, that are going to test you, to try and stir you away from whatever you're doing, whatever interruption that you're doing in the enemy's camp. Do you know what I mean? So, and this is why we see a lot of these guys that we've looked up to, and we've seen a lot of them stray away. Obviously I won't mention it, but we've seen a lot of them like stray away, and it's sad to see, but it
doesn't make us any better than those individuals.
No, it doesn't.
The reality is, everybody has wrestled with one thing or another. Everybody has fallen short. The Bible even talks about it in Romans 3. We have all fallen short of the glory of God. There is not one who is perfect and righteous before our holy God. And that's just the reality of it all for us all.
Right.
The difference being their failures are more visible than your failures
Right.
because they have an audience and they have a platform. So you see when they fall.
Right.
Everyone else, we don't see when you fall.
Right.
So you get the opportunity to experience the grace and stand back up again, and no one really cares. Well, not that no one really cares, but it's different because you may not have 1 million followers on Instagram, whereas
Right.
such and such who has 1 million followers on Instagram, he may fall or she may fall, they may fall the exact same way you fell, but you do not want to extend the same level of grace you received when you were down on your knees.
Jeez.
So
It's
a lot
it's
of
a deep
things.
one.
It's a lot of things.
It is a lot, man. It's a lot to unwrap. But you know what? You mentioned intentional and unintentional.
Oh yeah.
Where did you fall in that category or in those categories? Was it just one of those, or would you just say it was a naivety? Or did you very well know, oh, this is an area maybe where I'm struggling, and like, what was your like personal type?
It was a
road?
sliding scale.
What does that mean?
Right. So I believe there were seasons where it was just a thing of, oh, okay, cool, we're here. Oh, you have a platform and a lot of people are drawn to you. Okay,
Right.
cool. You don't really think anything of it. Then there's a sense of the middle, more like, oh, you think nothing of it. It's just that naivety of, oh, it is what it is. I'm just doing my thing. I'm just doing my thing. But then there's a more, and this is where, you know, the pride of life creeps in, and then there are certain instances where you're like, you know what, like I'm medium rare steak from the finest of fine boutiques, and you know, let me walk in that fact that I know who I am.
Right.
And so there's that sense of intentionality to kind of capitalize on your worth or your platform. And I'll be honest, I've fallen on that side of the scale as well. It then takes the humbling of the Holy Spirit to really be like, hey, see this? This is sin. This is pride. And this needs to, because it's manipulative, it's scary, it's not the way that a believer should be behaving, especially when you're dealing with the hearts of God's children. And so when God did just that podium you're standing on, get off it. Then you're just like, all right, cool, God, you know what? Let's start again.
Wow. Jeez. Yeah, man. See, this is a real story, man. This is what I wanted. You know, this is what I wanted, man, because it's I feel like I can resonate with that. I can really resonate with it.
I think a lot of people can, especially guys.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you don't even need to be an artist to like. I think a lot of guys watching this are in this position as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
And this is me begging and pleading with you. Like, be very mindful of the abusal of power. Be very mindful of the fact that you may be in a space where there is no accountability or no one to hold you to account. Be very mindful of the fact that if you are walking in a space that calls for you to walk in holiness, just walk that path. Because, trust me, like, you don't want the Lord to have to humble any of us. And this isn't me talking to anyone. This is me talking to myself again. It's like a constant reminder.
Yeah.
I have to remind myself every day, just be like, yo, be humble.
Right.
Be humble.
Bro, there's so many levels to this, bro. Like, as I said, I can resonate with it because even when I was starting this whole journey of content creation and stuff, like, bro, you know, this time, excuse me, this time last year, I was on like 2,000 followers, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh yeah, you're famous now, aren't you? I hear that. No, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I saw the Instagram formulas. I said, yeah. Yo, Izzy's on the.
A mad thing,
What, is
yeah?
that a young blue tick as well? Come on. Young blue tick as well.
Listen. You're bad, you know.
No, go carry. I'm playing. I'm playing.
Things changed rapidly, bro. But the thing is, I've been doing the content creation thing for a little while, but as I reflect on that journey, like there were so many moments in that time where my mindset was just not right. It was not right. It was not correct. My voice is going for some reason. I don't know why. My excuse me. My mindset was not right. The motivations to why I was doing those things were not aligned to why I should be doing it. I should be doing.
But for you, at what point did you realize things needed to change?
I think it was a journey for me. It was a process. I don't think it was just like, but it was more so just understanding why I was, or why I thought, you know, I had that calling to do it. Because I was trying to dabble with like Christian content, but also non-Christian content, but not like crazy. We're just trying to, you know, it's hard to explain. I was kind of trying to juggle it, but you know, I just came to a point where like, look, this is me. You know, I know what I've been through. I know who I serve. I know what I need to be doing in terms of, you know, impacting people and spitting just straight gospel. Like the content that I make now is just, there's no beating about the bush. Literally, it's just straight Christian content. And you know, I knew that was something that I was called to do for a long time, but it's just, I was just trying to do it in my own way and just not really listen to what God was kind of instructing me to do. Anyway, so the motivations about views, this, and it had to get to a point where I was like, I don't care about the views. I don't care about this, and that. But also clout as well, bro. Like,
It's killing our
this is
people.
what I'm saying about maybe the abuse of power in terms of 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe if I had the following or whatever the platform that I have now. If a girl, woman, or whatever, tried messaging me, it could have gone probably a very different way to how I am, how I treat it now. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, like you get a lot of people messaging you, this, and that, and yeah, man, I just feel like the maturity. I had to get taken on that journey because where I am now and how I look at things now, or how I approach things now, even in terms of setting boundaries and this, and that. It's really, really important to have that and to set those boundaries, because if you don't have that maturity and to set the boundaries and all that, then it's gonna be. And I think as an artist and as a creator or whatever, understanding boundaries, as I said, because we're only human, is really, really important.
There's a difference between the way that David handled a particular certain situation and the way that Joseph handled a particular certain situation.
Yeah.
And we know the story of David and how he saw Bathsheba and everything he did there. And yes, he's still a man after God's own heart, and God loved him and God still used him in great and mighty ways. But Joseph, placed in a similar, if not, the same situation.
Not even. I'd say his was worse, bro.
It was more intense because it was in his face. Like literally, she was like,
"Yo,
yo,
put it on
big
him,
man,
do you know what I mean?
come and get me now." Like.
Bathsheba was, at least, I don't know what her motivations were, but he's the one that was watching, innit?
So
yeah.
And Joseph just ran. And sometimes in this life, it could be a literal run. It could be, let me pick up my things and leave the yard. It may be listen, I'm scrolling, and I'm seeing a certain thing and it's making me feel a certain way. Put your phone down and just go do some press ups or something. I don't know. Like, or it may be a thing of, no, let me just flee. Just flee. It's a lot easier when you just can make the decision just to flee from temptation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just it, really.
The man them know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we have the conversation. We have the conversation. It's necessary for your own walk with God, not for anything other than that.
Yeah.
Not for anything other than that.
That's it, man. Hey, listen, abusive. I didn't think we'd go this direction, but we did, and I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it, man. And to be honest, like the way that you've articulated it as well, I think is very, very digestible. It's understandable, straight to the point as well, very clear. So I appreciate you,
That's
you know,
nice.
going down that road, man, and just kind of sharing your experience as well. And I think it just adds that extra. We've got to know you a bit more now. We've got to know the motivations behind why you do what you do, the journey that you've been on, the different things that you faces, the different roads you've gone on, you know, with artist management and different things, just different things that you've just experienced in your time as an artist, but also with your journey with Christ. So it's been really, really good.
It's been
blessed, bro.
good. It's been good. And I always say that we should, as artists, have where we can let people know your story, let people know, you know, the insight behind you as a person, because that's one of the things I've noticed about this generation and this time that we're in. People fall in love with, when I mean fall in love, I don't mean literally fall in love, but I mean people buy into the person. And if they can buy into you as a person, then they'll buy into you as a brand.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So when you see, I don't know, like a Nicki Minaj and all her Barbies, or Beyonce and all her the Beehive and stuff like that. No, because people have bought.
Is that what they call the Minajis? The Barbies? Or is this they call them Barbies?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they call them Barbies. Or the Barbs or something like that. Don't even ask me how I know that, but yeah, I do. Because they bought into the person.
Right.
And I'm not saying that, oh my gosh, we need to be worshipping, you know, this person and is making gospel music, but what then happens is, if you can build a community or a tribe of people who support what you do, and the numbers organically grow, what then happens is that the mainstream, they take notice. And it's not about numbers, but it is about numbers. And the reality of the matter of the fact is, if you're doing you're releasing an album and you do 70,000 copies in the first day, the mainstream don't care if that's 70,000 redeemed plus KICC plus RUAC plus RCC, whatever. It's all your cousins and uncles. They don't care. They just see 70,000. Right. Now that 70,000 could be your organic tribe who bought into you as a person, and then they bought into you as a brand.
Right.
So that when you do the 70,000 in the first day, they're like, oh snap, something's happening over here. Oh, okay, this can't be ignored. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But that can only happen. And there are so many artists who are and this brings me back to the point of me saying, like, I learned from certain people, because there's so many artists, even in the UK, who are so great at doing that, and they're interacting on social media and they're building that core fan base and a core sense of followership that allows them to then knock down doors, because, you know, they're doing some really incredible, impressive, encouraging numbers. And like I said, it's not purely about numbers, but let's not be ignorant. Numbers play a role in what we do, and can be a vital, decisive factor into the moves that certain artists make.
It's true. It's true.
It's just how it is. It's just how it is.
Jeez, man. You don't hold back, bro. You don't hold back.
I can't, because thank you for this, by the way.
It's all right, man.
I can't, because it gets to a stage where you just have to say what's on your mind, and certain things are not being said, and we'll let them be said, and once they're said, it's like, okay, cool, my man said that, and
now things start to...
Yeah, let's have the conversation.
The doors are not open, you've got to open that door.
Let's have the conversation.
Open the door so that people can have these conversations, and honest ones. You know, not higgy-hagger where we're just...
Yeah, let's you know, I feel like as Christians sometimes we're scared to have the hard conversation. Let's have the conversation.
I'm here for that, man.
Let's unpack. There's certain things I can say, but you know, I'm trying not to lose followers in the I'm joking, but yeah, no, it's cool. We're good.
Man. Hey, bro, it's been a blessing, man. It's been a pleasure to have you, and
it's been dope having to be here, man. And I'll round up by saying this: I saw the episode you dropped with your sister, and I thought that was fantastic.
Oh, thank you, man.
And then I saw the episode with Shireen, and platforms like this are so necessary because it gives us as artists an opportunity to share our testimonies, to share our hearts, to share our thoughts, to share our insights, and for people to understand the process behind being a creative. And what I'm about to say is not revolutionary in any way.
Right.
But I'll say this, and I'll end on this. We as creatives are in such a privileged position because, and I don't just mean musicians, I mean content creators, I mean writers, I mean just poets, creatives in general.
Yeah.
Because long after we die, when the music stops, when we are no longer creating this content, when we've been buried 6 feet deep and we go to be with the Lord, our art is still here. Our voices will still be heard.
Yeah.
You know, I'm coming across things that, I don't know, artists of the past have done, and I'm watching it like it was just yesterday. But this is content which is 30, 40, 50, 60, 90 years old. But yet they are still inspiring people to do what they want to do years down the line. So as a creative, you have to ask yourself, what is my legacy going to be? What am I going to leave this earth with? So when we have platforms like this, you are allowing for artists to come through and just have a piece of the puzzle there. Right. So that, you know, in 20 years time, 30 years time, somebody's like, oh my gosh, I want to get to know Shireen. They'll go to that interview, then they'll go to that video, and then they'll come here and they'll be like, I feel like I've got to know more about her artistry. So when I have the opportunity to come to platforms like this, I'm thinking somebody's going to see this. Like people maybe in the comments now being like, that was trash, that was garbage, that's fine. Because in 30, 40, 50 years, God willing, the channels don't get taken down. But, you know, what the Lord knows. Somebody's going to stumble across this video and be like, oh, do you know what? I needed that.
Yeah. Even if it's one person.
Even if it's just one person.
Yeah.
Which brings me back to the statement I made earlier on impact over numbers.
Yes.
So 100%. Yeah, no, keep doing what you're doing, my guy. It's a beautiful thing.
Man.
It's a beautiful thing.
That, man. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you, bro. And again, just for coming through, you know, it's humbling, bro. It's humbling. And I think it just kind of shows your character, who you are, and what your mission is, and what you want to do. We're here trying to do the same thing, and that is to build the kingdom of God, bro. So guys, thank you so much for watching and for just sticking with us on this journey, even with the technical difficulties, but we've made it to the end. Thank you so much. Everything
left unsaid.
Come on.
Check
that out. Thank you so much, guys. Until next time.